Okay, so there's finally a character. There's another character that I have been avoiding for the longest time, and that's Deadshot Hired Gun. I finally took him 7011. I don't know why I avoided him in particular. Is honestly, I just didn't think he was going to be that good or that important. But so far, he's been worth it. Okay, so like I said, I didn't have any real like issues with Deadshot. It's not like I thought he was a terrible character or anything. I just never really developed him. One thing about him as leader is that his first, his first, the first. Wow, let's see if I can speak English for a second. Okay, so with him as leader, he has this thing where your first attack is critical, which seems fine and dandy, but to me, this is a bit of a tomato can team. But to me, it was like, okay, so yeah, his first shot, that's it, and then what? I prefer leaders that have like 100 things or have 100 things to offer that can go throughout the entire match. And so, well, that was a bit of a tomato can team anyway, so it got taken out. So that was my hesitation on Deadshot. Didn't think that he would actually. I mean, the first shot being critical, fantastic, but then what do you do for me after that? Okay, so then we'll go through his kit really quickly. And instead of going through everything like I did last time, I'm just going to go through the main things. This is where he's really beneficial, the whole passive ability where he can't miss. Good against characters with a ton of evasion. So now that I'm looking at it, if I want to go up against a Scarecrow who drives me up a wall, if I want to go against Batman Beyond, then I guess that helps. The problem is that he's a physical, and so there aren't too many, unless, somebody correct me if I'm wrong, there aren't too many mystic characters that do a lot with evasions and miss. So, I don't know. There's a couple physical characters. You have Harley Quinn, you have Scarecrow, and granted, I guess that balances the scales, but I can just use Hal Jordan for them, so I guess I'm a little bit too late on that. The team leader ability, all allies gain plus 8% crit chance, which is fantastic. I haven't leveled this up, so I guess by the end of it all, 8, 9, 10 left. It'll be 12. Okay. The main one is the legendary one. All allies gain plus 100% crit chance on their first turn, which is awesome, but it just bugs me that it's just on the first turn and it doesn't go any further than that. And in my head, it's, well, why not take a leader like Hal Jordan, whose immunity is for the first 2 turns and really helps you get your team going from the start, or Wonder Woman POT, who does her extra attack no matter what throughout the game, or does, yeah, and depending on the scenario, if all players have buffs or no players have buffs, it decides on when she attacks. Soups, for example, no matter what, if someone gets a critical hit, then he goes into taunt and death immunity or damage immunity. So it just felt like there were better leaders out there that would help me more in PvP. However, a lot of people say that this critical chance 100% is once you've gone through that first wave, that first round with that 100% critical chance, then you've taken out at least 1 or 2 of the other players. So it puts you in that advantageous position. So let's see. And not to talk down on Deadshot. He has been good as I've played with him. It's just that to me, his most advantageous position is as leader, and I have better leaders, I think. As far as physical leaders, he may take that role. Let's see. Oh, I didn't bring anybody that can debuff her now, so now I have to use him. I don't have a Hal Jordan, I don't have Black Lightning, so oops, my bad. Kind of have to use him for that now. But I will say that the leaders. Oh, see, that is nice. That critical spread with her was nice. The other physical leaders that I have, which are Batman, WGD, and Red Hood. Red Hood, I think, will be a much better leader as I'm able to. If I can get him up 1 more star, I need him to be 3L, I think, for him to be viable. But oh no, this is not going the way it should. Not at all. Should I take her out first? Let's take her out first. Boom. But Right now, Red Hood is an okay. He's an okay leader, but I don't use him that often. All my leads are either Mystic or Energy. So I guess he could be first place in terms of leader, but man, I'll just find workarounds to that. Oh boy. Take out Green Lantern, please. He's a monster. Got him. Okay. That fight did not go the way it should. Man, I think that's my fault. I could have composed the team a little bit better. I just got eager about the prospect of having Wonder Girl, Black Adam, and Power Girl having critical hits in their first go round. Thought that'd be a big advantage. So, ugh. Okay, so this is random and very, very quick. I actually was looking back at the video, and I think I noticed something that happens with Deadshot and Black Lightning, so I wanted to run it really fast just to check. And I don't have any more PvP energy, and I'm not about to buy any anymore. Raid has got me off of spending any money on anything, so yeah. Anyway, and I wanted to check to see if I was right. So for the longest time, let's see, why aren't you loading? Come on now. I mean, I like this screenshot, but you know. Here we go. So for the longest time, I was always wondering, why does Black Lightning only do, he does 9,000 heal sometimes, and then sometimes he'll do 21,000. I never thought, and this might be a stupid newbie thing. Let's see if this is right. 22,000. Okay. I never thought of, let me go ahead and just start shooting people and killing things. I never thought about Black Lightning's heal as having a critical component. Meaning the reason sometimes it was 9,000 was because it's a regular attack, and sometimes it was 22,000 because that was a critical hit. So that gives me a lot more love for Deadshot, because Black Lightning is one of my favorite characters. And if it's the first move is critical, I'm waiting until I kill these people. If the first move is critical, that means that Black Lightning's healing from the very beginning, that first heal, will be critical. And now I'm actually curious about his second move, his third ability, which is when he steals all the buffs and then heals other teammates. Will that be critical too? Curious. Anyway, I'm adding this video in the middle. The video after this will be the conclusion that I come up with. But now I'm a lot more excited about a Deadshot Hired Gun. Okay, so here's the deal. Because of the way this is set up, if his leadership is first attack will be a critical attack, then it makes me rethink how I build my team. That means I want a team with nothing but heavy hitters. Usually I'll do someone with a good leadership like Hal Jordan or Wonder Woman POT. Then I try to have a taunter in there to protect the other players. Then I'll try to have a healer, and then just build from there. But if the first attack is always critical, then it would stand to reason that I just have a bunch of beasts that are ready to lay down the wood, right? I mean, that seems to make the most sense. If you can do a crap ton of damage. Oh, she lit. Oh, death immunity. All right. If you can do a bunch of damage with your first hits, then you should, have characters that give a lot of damage. And it looks like I was right. Yeah, so I guess to that end, yeah, it makes, so I shouldn't have done that. Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah, that was a dumb move by me. Guys, don't do as I say, not as I do. However, yeah, that seems to be it. Heavy hitters go along with Deadshot and handle business. So maybe he will be my new PvP king. I'm not sure. I will be honest, I prefer playing with Wonder Woman POT, and I prefer playing with Hal Jordan as lead. I even prefer playing with Supes as lead. But I mean, that was a pretty quick match against a relatively strong team, and business got taken care of really quickly. So, he's worth it. He was worth the work.